Spinach, game changer. Woo! Welcome back, guys, and yeah, 2100 calories is actually a good amount of food. I've been eating at this for a good few weeks now and I've lost about 4 kilos. I'm about 74.7 kilograms at the moment. So starting with the oats, you know, these macros on screen now are fantastic. I actually prepared them last night and I prepared some more food as well. And we'll take a look at what they look like basically and the macros and how they can help your goals and why I've eaten them or why I am eating them, why they're my choice of food. Okay. I am going to do a bit of a taste test for you guys because you saw in the intro clip, right? Oh, I'll move the spoon a little bit now, but shit. Like it's literally not coming out. So basically make it overnight and then have it in the morning as like overnight oats, right? Overnight oats. Yeah, again, full macros on the previous screen. I will do like a proper making of how to do it. It's so easy. It takes about, I've not calculated it. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, 30 seconds if you're too quick. But yeah, let's dig in. You know what? I don't even know why I'm doing a taste test. I've had the same breakfast for the last 2 years. The only thing that changes is the amount of oats that I would have. I would normally have peanut butter on this as well, but obviously due to the calories, I can't be arsed. I don't really miss them. The itself is so chocolatey that you don't really need it. Just a reminder, stay hydrated, and now we cut the potatoes basically. Weigh them first. I've watched this twice, I have no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, my Salter scale was being a bit weird, but that is still the best one you can get. I eat about 250 grams for my lunch. I think I've had a bit less, just because I'm cutting, it's not a huge amount. Cut them like this. Make sure they are washed prior though, and then you would stick them in the microwave in a bowl. And then my microwave is a bit weird because it has like this weird spinny contraption, but you put it 100% for about 3 minutes. And then you would do it again for about 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. This is 900 watt microwave, however. Cool bottle flip, oil spray, just a quick few seconds. And also please ignore the mess in the kitchen. And here we are. Basically what we're looking at is because of that oil spray, now we can fry them off. And because the way the microwave cooks these potatoes, it's inside out, they do become sticky-ish. So have a spatula so it doesn't damage your pan. But yeah, separate them like this and you will always get a nice sort of sear on them as well. And they'll taste like actual chips and very, very low calories. But I'm sure you heard the sizzle. It's well worth having. And this is it, the final product. Low calorie mayo, chips, and then a wrap, which I will soon share the recipe for. All right, so because obviously most of the meal, especially the wrap, was prepared at night time anyway, it was pretty much a reheat, so I microwaved it for about 20 seconds or so, 30 seconds, and then I put it in the air fryer on a low heat, so 160 degrees in the UK. I don't know what the freedom units are and all, for about 5-6 minutes. So in the wrap, you've seen, I've obviously done the voiceover, hopefully, and that is it. It's got, basically, I'd like to have some vegetables in there. I put spinach in it this time. Usually I would put like bell peppers and onions. And yeah, I'm having it on a board because I've just seen someone do it and it looked pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's not a cutting board they eat on, but I thought it looked cool on YouTube anyway. Low fat mayo, homemade chips. These are about 150 calories for 250 grams. Oh man. Microwave first, fry up after, game changer. Taste test, however, for the wrap, because this recipe I've not had before. Can't speak. You know what? This is the recipe. I was going to show you the bell pepper and onion mix. Spinach, game changer. Woo! This is why, I mean, I don't know if you can see properly, but cutting doesn't have to be so boring. I've seen plenty of meals online now, even the ones that recommend it to me. Dry rice, and dry this, dry that. Spinach, next to no calories. Season it, again, next to no calories. Air oil, spray, whatever. It doesn't have to be so boring and drawn out. This is only my second meal of the day. Favorite meal of the day, obviously. And these chips, look at, I mean, I can't really, can you hear the crunch? Oh shit, my mic's on my thing, on my chest, hold on. Yeah, it was brilliant. Catch you guys in the next meal. Cool, it's time. Let's talk cardio. All right, I know you love it. Some form of cardio is essential, okay? For me, it's a case of walking outdoors. It's freezing in England. If you're in England right now, you know it's cold, but it gives me a purpose, walking outside. So unless it's snowing or raining actively, I'll always walk outside. Temperature, it kind of is good, right? Do it as well. If you're just on a treadmill in the gym, just try and get out. It builds resistance as well, so you're not caving into like the weather itself. It builds resilience, and it's good to get fresh air out, you know. Also with cardio, it builds not only resilience. I found my gym sessions are actually better after I've done a walk. So I'd walk now, 3 hours later I'll go train, and that's been very, very helpful for me. In the gym I'm more awake, more alert, have more energy, and after I've spent all my energy in the gym lifting weights, the last thing I want to do is be walking, doing a strenuous exercise or going on a Stairmaster. So win-win. I tend not to do more than about 6,000 steps a day. Now on this walk, the middle of the day sort of walk before my training, I only tend to do about 3,000 steps probably, so it's not a lot. I'm just, you know, you can see I'm accumulating steps. I try to get about 6K a day. I tend to get more of my steps after. So when I finish training, it's normally obviously earlier in the day and then later on in the evening where I'm moving around, doing things here and there around the house or quick shopping or anything like that. That's where I'd accumulate most of my steps. So you don't have to, if you've got 10K goal, for example, be smart about it. You know, if you've got 7K goal, be smart about it. You don't have to run and gun, do it on the spot right there and then. You split it up and make it easier for yourself. The less friction there is in your whole system, the better your results will be overall. And that's what I found anyway for myself. I'm losing these 4 kilos so far, and will continue to do so until that stops and until anything else needs to change really. This here, guys, very, very simple pre-workout recipe. Almond milk, peanut butter, I bought it from Netherlands, beautiful. I've got peanut butter flavored protein powder as well, mixed with 1 biscuit of Weetabix, and then you just sort of crush it together. It's quite simple, quick, and tastes amazing. Right, first exercise of the session. Now we're looking at pull-ups. Don't know why I'm stood around kind of doing nothing. It's a belt. Yeah, so I'm wearing the weighted belt, about 5 kilos, not too heavy. I used to be able to do a bit more, and I did do a bit more until I realized when I was going down on the movement, so the eccentric, I kind of was falling, you know, and then I'd only focus more on the pull-up kind of part. And I realized I was leaving a lot on the table. You know, my focus is kind of reinvented in that way, where if you see now my first rep, I'll kind of come down a lot slower than I used to because I was completely neglecting that part of the movement. It's kind of similar to how I used to do deadlifts before. Explosive up, and then I would just sort of drop it and then do it again. And you realize for hypertrophy, maybe not the best. So this way has helped recently. I've been training a bit better. I've had to drop weight on certain exercises, not all of them, just to be able to do them better, because I guess that is, I suppose, more important. And another thing that I've been honing focus on is not going to complete failure so early on. Now, I think I've done the sessions, so the videos back to back. This was my last set, but you'll see the next one as a contrast. If I know I'm going to fail, I'd probably take maybe just cut the set there, and I'd only reserve failure, true failure, or go all out on the last one, just to accumulate a good amount of work for now. That's just currently the way I'm training at the moment. It may not be always the case going forward, but it's something I'm just trying to employ, just to learn how to work more, you know, rather than constantly thinking about doing lower reps, training less, training harder, heavier. That's all cool, but just need to build capacity to be able to just work a bit more, get used to spending more time in the gym. And ultimately for hypertrophy, the people that have better engines, more fitter, are able to do more work, they'll do better. So I'm kind of reverse engineering it, if that makes sense. Kind of get the fitness there as well, make sure I'm putting a good amount of work in, and then intensity can dial from that point. And obviously that's the aim anyway. We'll see how that goes. Obviously going forward, intensity does need to pick up, and at that point, if I start losing sets, that is cool, but I want to give it a good 12 weeks run where I'm building a good amount of fitness and learning the movements again properly and progressing that way, rather than just trying to slug weight around. I think that is quite important that people do miss. I mean, once you become an intermediate, all the things that gave you the gains beforehand when you were a beginner, they might not work anymore, and you have to look at certain things to pinpoint. So yeah, this is the set as you saw was where I held off one just to avoid that grinding rep, just because there was no need. And with the T-bar row, and actually most back exercises, I mean, even with the pull-ups, I always tend to put the straps, the lifting straps on. Just why not? Why not? You know, I mean, we're not trying to compete in anything like that. So what I normally favor is just basically make sure the hand doesn't slip out. And obviously if it does slip out, you just tend to miss out on so much work. Because I think on this one, without straps, I wouldn't have got the 7 reps on here that with that much quality. So obviously, I choose to have the straps because I'd rather have a bigger back than a stronger grip. It's just not in my it's on my agenda, I suppose. Yeah, this set should be to failure. Now, what I consider failure is when I can't really go and replicate the form that was on the previous rep. Obviously, going forward, that definition may alter, where I'm just trying to blast muscle. And with the lat pull downs, the focus really is to not lean so far back as I've done before. Again, all I'm trying to now do is put focus on that muscle. Now, there'll be times where, obviously, if I've reached failure, for example, and I need to, or I want to, I should be pushing more, you know, not to cut the set so early. Then some body English may be there. You can't be too strict. But for now, I'm just setting the baseline at the beginning of my cut, basically, to get a good amount of work in. And with the bicep curls, the simple goal with this one was not to slug the weight around. Yeah, you don't want to be chucking the weight around and doing multiple sets, rather than just doing like a finisher set, for example, that most or some programs will have you doing. Again, goes back to doing more work with higher quality. And also, I've neglected them for a long time. Since I've trained or started training, really, I've always sort of kept them as an afterthought and thought back training will do the biceps, and it's just not the case. And we're back home, and it's the final meal of the day for me. And this was basically a very, very nice homemade egg filler. I'll put the macros on screen shortly. Similar chips, or same chips that I did during the day. The way to make it is the same. And then a different kind of wrap. Now, that's the leftover chicken. As you can see, that was in the wrap from earlier. And yeah, I do a live taste test. It was so noisy in the house. I couldn't really actually talk to you guys there, so I'm just doing a voiceover now. And I'm literally sat there pretending like, wow, look at this, look at my face. I'm basically sort of pretending that I'm doing a live reaction. But yeah, it was just to say it was amazing. And then let's get into the wrap. And then yeah, the wrap, basically, my face would probably tell you the story. Really, really surprised, mind blown. And that's a wrap. No pun intended. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And if you did enjoy this and want more, including some recipe videos as well, give it a like, comment, share with anyone that might enjoy these, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.